Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you all so much for joining. Let's get started with our Mangalacharan words. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya-Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya-Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya-Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीयुतपतकलं श्रीवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथामृतं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदाम सागर ललिता श्री विशाखावताम हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विष्मानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालय कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः ललीला में विग्रहाय हेमावदिव्य छवि सुंदराय तस्मै महाप्रेम रसप्रदाय चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्य चंद्राय मुखम करोति वाचालं भंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you for your wonderful association. Thank you so much for joining. Let's get started with our presentation. So we are continuing our Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we covered how many Mangalacharan verses? Anybody remembers? Hare Krishna, anybody? Yes, Lalita.
Hare
5,
Krishna.
yes. We covered 5 Mangalacharan verses as explained by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So now, before explaining the 6th one, our Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami will give some idea. So normally his pattern is that he quotes the verse and then he gives the explanation. But in this case and the previous one, he first explained the verse, explained the detailed meaning of the Mangalacharan verse, and then he quoted the Mangalacharan verse. We will follow the same pattern as been set by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So first we will see the reasons, the explanations, and then we will go to the verse. So in the last verse, that was the previous Mangalacharan verse, it was mentioned about the external reason. I can show you the yeah. What happened? Share. This is the fourth one. Okay, here's the fifth one. Yeah, this was the fifth Mangalacharan verse. I have hide the slides. I'll hide them. Yeah. So this was the fifth Mangalacharan verse in which Srila Rupa Goswami explains the external reason of Sriman Mahaprabhu. So two external reasons were set. That first he wants to establish the Yuga Dharma of this age of Kali. And then second reason was that he came on the call of his dear devotee Srila Advaita Acharya. And he wants to give that prema bhakti which he has never given. So that was explained in the previous verse from Anarpitam Charimcharat verse. Now in this verse, he wants to explain the confidential reasons. In this fifth Mangalacharan, he said that yes, there were some confidential reasons also. And to fulfill those confidential reasons, Mahaprabhu took the mood of Radha Bhav and her Dviti, her complexion. So this verse we have already covered. This was, I forgot to mention that this verse and the next verse which we'll be covering today, they both are in the meter Mandakranta. Okay, and the external reason where he was mentioning about Anarpitam Charimchara, that I've already mentioned, was in the meter Prithvi. So the fifth Mangalacharan was Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Haladinir Shaktirasmat Ekatmanavapi Bhuvipura Deha Bedam Gatautau Chaitanyakyam Prakatamaduna Tattvayam Chaikyamaptam Radha Bhava Dviti Solitam Naumi Krishna Sarupam. So here Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami didn't mention any reason as such, but he just mentioned that Radha and Krishna, they both are one and they have become two. So one become two and then two becomes one in Chaitanya lila. And just to taste each other's pastimes. And this time in Chaitanya lila, they two have become one. And later we will see this one has expanded into five. So one becomes two, two becomes one, and one becomes five as Panchatattva. That we will see later. So now Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is going down in front of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, who has manifested himself with the sentiment of Śrī Radha and the complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is non-different from Krishna. Now, external reason he has mentioned, Avatare Prabhu Pracharile Sankirtana Eho Bhaya Hetu Purve Kariyache Shuchana. So he is saying that yes, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu has incarnated, but for what? Pracharila Sankirtana, to propagate Śrī Sankirtan movement. But Eho Bhaya Hetu, this is the cause is there, but this cause is external cause. Bhaya means the external cause. Kariyache Suchana. That he, and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that I have already explained to you before. So the Lord came to propagate Sankirtan, that is an external purpose, as I have already indicated. But then he says that now in this verse coming forward, the sixth Mangalacharan verse, I will be quoting the three confidential reasons because of which Krishna came as Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Then where are you getting this confidential reasons, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami? Then he's saying, well, I am not concocting it from my own ideas. Actually, I took this from the diary, from the Kharcha of Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami. So remember last time also we discussed that Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami, along with Sri Ramananda Raya, were staying with Sriman Mahaprabhu when Mahaprabhu was in Gambhira in Jagannath Puri in his later pastimes. And Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami would write everything that he experienced in Sriman Mahaprabhu, but he would just write in a summary, in a gist form. Later, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami was, because he was handed over to Śrī Swarup Damodar Goswami by Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami was a mentee, or Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami was the mentor of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. So Srila Raghunath Das Goswami would always see those things that he would write in his diary, and he would further expand. And later when Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami, later Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, when he went to Vrindavan, and when he gave classes, 3 hours he used to speak on Chaitanya lila. At that time, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami would make notes. And then he was inspired, advised, instructed by all the Vrajvasi saints there, that you should write Caitanya-caritāmṛta. So he's saying that whatever reasons, the confidential reasons that I will be explaining, it is all being revealed by Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami in his Karcha, what he was writing. And actually, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was very hesitating in writing these 3 confidential reasons, because he said, I don't want it to be leaked out in assembly of those who are not appreciative of Mahaprabhu. But then he said that because I have already got the blessings of Sri Radha Madan Mohan, so I'm going to reveal, and I'm pretty sure those camel-like devotees, those who are into sense gratification, even though I have revealed it, but they will still not able to understand. This is the blessings of Sriman Madan Mohanji. Because he said, unnecessary, why should I restrict myself? Because there are many devotees, the swan-like devotees, who wants to taste the milk. So why should I restrict them in tasting this? So I will write it. But I'm pretty sure that those devotees who are not appreciative of Sriman Mahaprabhu would not understand, even after studying or reading all these confidential reasons that I'm sharing it. So with this, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that I got a courage, and now I will not restrict myself, rather I'll reveal these reasons to everyone. So then he said that Krishna, after Dwapar Yuga, when he winded up his pastimes, he has 3 unfulfilled desires. What were the 3 unfulfilled desires that Krishna had? Ei mata purve Krishna rase rasadana, yadyapi karila rasa niryasa chavana, tathapi na hilatina vanchita purana, taha aswadite yadi karila yatana. Krishna started thinking, Ei mata purve Krishna rasera sadhana. Krishna is the reservoir. Sadhana means he is the reservoir of all the rasas. He is raso vai saha. He is the one with whom we can have all the mellows. He is the abode of all the mellows. And he's saying, Krishna is saying, Yadyapi karila rasa niryasa charavana. I have already tasted the essence of all the rasas. Shravana means to chew. So Krishna has already chewed all the essence of all the rasas. But still, tathapi. So in the previous line, it's yadyapi. Although he has, tathapi, still, nahilatina vanchita purna. I still have 3 unfulfilled desires. Tahasvidit asvadite yadi karila yatana. And although I have made lot of efforts to taste them, but still those 3 unfulfilled desires are still in me, which are provoking me so that I can fulfill these desires. Now someone can say, well, Krishna, he is Atmaram. He is desireless, but still that is those who understand Krishna as Brahman or as Paramatma. But as a bhakta, we know that even Krishna is subservient to his devotees. And the greatest devotee Krishna has is Srimati Radharani. So he's always subservient to Srimati Radharani. And therefore, the bhaktas, the devotees of Krishna who understands him in the personal form, they know that Krishna still has those unfulfilled desires. Yes, Krishna can also have unfulfilled desires. And to fulfill those desires, Krishna comes as Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, what are those desires? What Krishna is thinking? Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says. So first desire, Krishna is thinking, Tahara prathama vancha kariya vyakhyana, Krishna kahe ami hai rasera nidana. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, now I shall explain you the first desire, where Krishna says, Krishna kahe ami hai rasera nidana. I am the primary cause of all the rasas, and I am the supreme abode of all the rasas. Okay, so you are, yes, who said that you are not, but still Krishna continues. He's saying, forget about it, I am the primary cause of all the rasas. I am actually the spiritual truth. I am actually the abode of all the joy. Srimati Radharani is actually considered to be the Ladini Shakti, but actually she's coming from me. I am the abode of all the joys. But the love of Srimati Radharani is such that even though she's my part, even though she's non-different from me, but still her love drives me mad. I don't know how much strength is there in Srimati Radharani's love that she always overwhelmed me with her love. Radhikara preme guru ami shishya nata sada amanana nete nechaye udbhata. So he's saying that Radharani's love is so great, the strength of her love is so and so much so that she always overwhelms me with her love, to an extent that I consider her my teacher. She is my guru. She is my prema guru. She is my love guru. And I am his shishya. I am his disciple. And that disciple who is learning dance from Srimati Radharani. Dance in various styles, because she makes me dance like a puppet. So the love of Radhika is my teacher, and I am her dancing pupil. Her prema makes me dance various noble dances. So Krishna always comes under control of his pure devotees. And among his pure devotees, Srimati Radharani is the crest jewel. She is the crest jewel of all the pure devotees that Krishna had. Therefore, Krishna says, Nija prema asvade mura hayalada, taha hate koti gana rasa prema radha prema swada. So now he is saying that Nija prema swade mora, my own love, that which brings me lot of halad, that gives me so much of pleasure, that love, it's my own love, but that love is being tasted, is Radha Prema Swada. That love is being tasted by Srimati Radharani. And not one time, two times, three times, but koti guna. Millions of times she tastes my love. So I am getting the taste, whatever pleasure I get from tasting my love for Srimati Radharani. She actually tastes 10 million times more than me by her love. Radha prema vibhujare badi te nahi thai, tathapi se kshane kshane badai sadai. Yes, I love Srimati Radharani, but she loves 10 million times more. And no matter how much I compete with her, but still her love is expanding and expanding, and it's expanding constantly. Radha Prema Vibhu, first of all, her love is all pervading, and Badite Nahi Thai, and it is leaving no room for expansion. Why? Because it is expanding day by day. Shana Shana Badai Sadai. At every moment, that love that she is experiencing, that is increasing, it is expanding. So it is leaving no room for that love for me to enjoy that love or to understand that love. Ashraya jatiya sukha paite mana dhaya, yatne aswadite nari ki kari upaya. My mind races to taste. I literally race to taste the pleasure that is experienced by the abode. By the abode, why? Because Krishna is a Vishaya and Srimati Radharani is the Ashraya Tattva. Krishna is to be loved and Radharani loves Krishna. So she is the Ashraya Tattva and Krishna is the object of love. Krishna is the Vishaya Tattva. So he's saying, I don't know how much love Srimati Radharani experiences. Yatna aswadite nari ki kari upaya. And I cannot taste that love because her love is ever increasing. How much I compete, how much I race, but I cannot come to the level where she experiences that love. Why? Because her love is increasing multifold times, millions times for every second, her love is increasing. Ki kari upay, how may I taste it? I'm not able to do it. Even though I put my best of efforts, but still I cannot experience the love she tastes. Then Krishna started thinking, what if Kabhujadi e premara haya ashaya tabe e premanandera anubhavahaya. What if I become the Ashraya Tattva and she becomes the Vishaya Tattva? Only then I will be able to taste the joy or experience the love that she tastes. So I can be the abode of that love. I exchange the role now. I'll become the Ashraya Tattva and experience the same love that she experiences. So this was the first desire that our Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu has. So thinking in this way, Lord Krishna was very curious to taste that love, and his eager desire for that love increasingly blazed in his heart. And he decided that from here onwards, I'll become the Ashraya Tattva and she'll be the Vishaya, she'll be the object of love. And in this way, I'll experience. So it's just saying that putting yourself in the shoes of others, right? You come to that point, you come to that level, and then you experience that how much that person is experiencing. So this was the first desire. We will understand it in a very layman term also, but right now we'll go with the flow of what Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains. Now this is the second desire that Krishna had. Adbhuta ananta purna mora madhurima trijagate hara keha jahi payasima. He's saying Adbhuta, very, very wonderful. Ananta, limitless. Purna, full. Mora madhurima, my sweetness. My sweetness is wonderful. My sweetness is infinite, and my sweetness is full. Trijagate hara keha nahi paisima. No one in the three worlds can cross the limit, can find the limit. Forget about crossing the limit. Can even find the limit of my sweetness. So Krishna himself is thinking that as per my beauty, I'm the most beautiful. My sweetness, my beauty is wonderful. It's infinite and it's full. And no one in three worlds can find its limit. Only Radhika. Only Srimati Radhika, by the strength of her love, she tastes all the nectar of my sweetness. And there is a constant competition that goes on between Krishna and Srimati Radharani. Sorry. And what is the competition? Mana madhurya radha radhara prema dohe hoda kari shane shane bade dohe keha nahi hari. Man madhurya radhara prema. There is a constant competition that goes on between my sweetness and Srimati Radharani's love. Doha hoda kari. Hoda means there is a competition that goes on between both of them. Shane shane bade dohe. Both of them are increasing. Krishna's beauty is increasing. Srimati Radharani's love is increasing. But neither knows the defeat. So he's saying, my sweetness is newer and newer. And devotees, they experience is as per the love they have for me. So they experience the same newer and newer sweetness in me. If I see my sweetness in the mirror, I myself get tempted to taste my sweetness. But alas, I cannot do that because I experience my sweetness only in a mirror, and mirror is simply an image. How much ever I see, I tempted to taste my sweetness, my own sweetness. but I cannot taste my sweetness. If I deliberate on a way to taste it, the only way I can taste is that I take the position of Srimati Radhika. So thus Krishna thinks, E madhuryamrita paye sada yahi kare, Trishna shanti nahe, Trishna bade nirantare. The thirst that I always drink the nectar of that sweetness is never getting satisfied, because there is a constant competition. It is increasing day by day. That thirst is increasing constantly. My sweetness is increasing, so the relishment that Srimati Radharani is getting to experience that sweetness, that is also increasing. Seeing her experiencing that sweetness, my sweetness increase, and seeing my sweetness increase, Srimati Radharani is experiencing more and more. Krishnere madhurya Krishna upajaya lobha samyak aswadite nare mana kare shobha. Krishna's own beauty attracts Lord Krishna himself, because when he sees himself in his image, he feels that, oh, I'm so beautiful, my sweetness is so great, it's wonderful, and I want to taste it. But alas, he fails. But because he cannot enjoy it, his mind always remains full of sorrow. So that is the position of of our Krishna. So then he thought, okay, enough. Now I have to take the position of Srimati Radharani to taste my own sweetness, because I'll not be able to taste by my own self. As Krishna, I won't be. So I have to take the position of Srimati Radharani. Then Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains the third reason. Gopi Ganera Prema Ruda Bhavanama Vishuddha Nirmala Prema Kabu Kahe Kama. The love of the gopis is called Ruda Bhav. Ruda Bhav means condensed love with full of emotions. It is condensed. It is pure, Vishuddha. It is Nirmal, without any contamination. It is spotless. Kabhu nahe kama, and it is not filled with any, not even an iota of lust is there in the love of the gopis. It is so condensed. See, when you boil the milk, there is still some water in the milk. The more you boil, the more the milk becomes thickened. The more it becomes thickened, the more the quantity of water reduces. And finally, the milk, it becomes a khoya, or you can see the most condensed form of that milk. And not even a single drop of water you feel in that, because if I don't know how many of you, if you have boiled the milk to that extent, and then you make a barfi out of it, that khoya comes in. So the more you boil, the more the milk becomes condensed. So he's saying that love of the gopis is actually like that condensed milk. It is pure, it is spotless, and it is not at any time lust. You cannot call it as calm, because it is pure and spotless. And then Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains that what is the difference between love and lust. This is the very important verse and often quoted by Srila Prabhupada, and many preachers, they quote while giving the difference between this love and lust. Atmendriya priti vancha tari bale kam, Krishnendriya priti ichha dhare prem nam. So he's saying why the gopis' love is not considered to be the lust, because there is a difference between love and lust. What is that difference? Atmendriya priti vancha. Atma means your own. Indriya means the senses. If you try to do anything that satisfies our own senses, tari bale kam, that is known as kam. If my senses are getting gratified in any of the activity that I do, that means it is calm, it is lust. Lust doesn't mean just a physical relationship between two opposite sex. Lust means any sense that is gratified by my activity, that is known as lust. Whether it's my tongue, whether it's my eyes, whether it's my ears, whether it's my skin, whether it's my genitals, anything. Anything, any activity that I do, if I get pleasure, the sensory pleasure, then that is known as calm. Krishnendriya Priti Vansha. Rather, if any activity is done which satisfies Krishna's senses, which I have the desire to please Krishna's senses, that is Dhare Premna, that is known as love. So any activity which I do to gratify my senses, that is known as calm. And any activity that I do with the desire to please Krishna's senses. Why it says Priti Ichha, desire to please Krishna's senses? Because we don't know whether with our activity Krishna will be pleased or not. Okay. But we have the desire to please Krishna. Example is given of Srimati Yashoda. Yashoda Maya, when she was in that Damodar lila, she left Krishna and she went to protect the milk that was boiling on the stove. Still, her activity is considered to be the love, because she has deep love for Krishna. Why she went to save that milk? Because she want to use that milk also in Krishna's service. But her action shows that she left Krishna hungry. She didn't feed Krishna properly. She was feeding Krishna. Krishna was enjoying. She left Krishna in between. So activity looks like that she annoyed Krishna, and because of which Krishna was annoyed and he broke everything. But the point is, her desire was to please Krishna because she wants to use that milk also in Krishna's service. So Krishna Indriya Priti Ichha Dhare Premna. If somebody develops that desire to please the senses of Lord Shri Krishna, that is prem, that is love. Everything else is what? It's simply a lust. Object of lust is only the enjoyments of our own senses. But love caters the enjoyment of Lord Shri Krishna. And that is very powerful. And there was not even a slightest taint of lust in the gopis' love. Their relationship with Krishna was only to give enjoyment to Krishna. It has been explained when Srimati Radharani goes into that sulky mood in Man Bhav, where she doesn't want to see the face of Krishna. Still, this activity was to please Krishna, because Krishna derives a lot of pleasure in then pacifying and giving solace to Srimati Radharani. He finds extreme pleasure to do that Man-bhang lila. Man-bhang lila means to bring Radharani, Srimati Radharani out of that sulky mood. So Krishna does a lot of those activities that pleases Srimati Radharani, and because of which she laughs, she smiles, and she accepts Krishna. So her going into Man, her going into that sulky mood is also for the pleasure of Lord Shri Krishna. So therefore he says that love and love, they are lust and love and lust, they are quite different. Lust is like a dense darkness and love is like the bright sun. And the gopis, we know that they never cared for their own pleasure and pains. All their physical and their mental activities were only as an offering of enjoyment to Lord Shri Krishna. And Krishna plays flute in the middle of the night, in the middle of the forest. The gopis, they left everything for Krishna. Why? Because they have that pure asakti, the pure attachment for Lord Shri Krishna. And in the middle of the night, in the middle of the forest, all the gopis came just on that one flute note that Shri Krishna played to call these devotees. And then these gopis, when they come, and Krishna says, why are you all here? Who called you? You should be at your home. You should be taking care of your children. You should be taking care of your family. You should be taking care of your husbands. And the gopi says, hey, you are the one who called us. And now when we are here, leaving aside all the shyness, all the social customs, and when we are here, now you are asking us why we are here. So this is the love of all the gopis. Because Krishna, he promises, he says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajami. As you surrender unto me, I'll reciprocate it accordingly. As you love me, I'll reciprocate it accordingly. That's what Krishna declares in Bhagavad Gita. And very boldly he declares. But then when he called all the gopis, and the gopis were saying that, "Oh Krishna, you are the one who called us, and now you are telling us to go back. Well, there is no return for us. We are not here to go back now. Now we are here, and you have to tell us that what desired you, what made you play this note so that we all are here." And then finally Krishna accepts, and they all perform that Rasa Lila, which is Maharas Lila, which went for, it's been explained that it went for the entire day of Brahma. That night was pretty long night, and Krishna performed his Rasa Lila. But during that Rasa Lila also we know that Krishna left in between. He left all the gopis, and the gopis were thinking, wow, Krishna left us. But there is one gopi who is missing. So actually Srimati Radharani was missing. And the gopis followed the footsteps. And finally they saw that now there are 4 footprints. That means 2 people were walking. So Srimati Radharani and Krishna were walking. But then they saw only one pair of footprint. One pair was missing. And the gopis were thinking, oh, means Srimati Radharani was feeling very tired, and Krishna must have picked up Srimati Radharani and walking while picking Srimati Radharani. So this way they were thinking, and then they saw Srimati Radharani few steps ahead, that she was also lamenting. And then they asked, and then she said that I was feeling pride. There was a pride in me. I was feeling proud about this, that Krishna left all of you and Krishna is with me. And just this thought, with this one single thought, Krishna left us. And then they sang this Gopi Geet, the song of separation. And after that song of separation, Krishna came. And Krishna came, and all the gopis, along with Srimati Radharani, they were questioning Krishna. What happened? Why are you there? Why you keep testing our love? Why you left us in the middle of the night? So there is a detailed conversation that happens. And our Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he explains that detailed conversation that happens between the gopis and Krishna. I'll not go into that detail because it will be a 1-hour session itself. So ultimately Krishna says, Na parayam. That Krishna who is all in all, who is samam bonam. Hare Krishna, can you all hear me?
After Samam Bonam, I could not hear, Mataji.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Krishna says that that Krishna who is the Samam Bonam, who is all in all, is now feeling himself in complete depth, because he's saying, in Gita he said, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajami, I'll reciprocate. But that promise was broken because of the love of all the gopis, and Krishna there admits, Na parai ham. Parai means that I cannot repay your love. Na parai ham niravadya samyujam swaswat. Actually, this is Sanskrit. I don't know why I'm singing in a Caitanya-caritāmṛta tune. Na parayam niravadya samyujam swaswadukriyam vibhushaya piva mahyamabjam duryaja geha shrinkala samricha tadyaha parityatu sadhuna. So he's saying, Na parayam, I am unable to pay the debt. Those nirvadya samyujam, of those who are completely free from all kind of deceit, all kind of hypocrisy. Why you gopis, you are free, your love is spotless, and therefore I cannot repay you. So sadhu krityam, your connection to me, your activities to me is so great that I cannot pay back that activity. I cannot pay back your love. Vibhudayasha Piva means till the lifetime of all the demigods. Till the lifetime, as long as the demigods exist. Where Prabhupada translates that till the lifetime of Brahma, I cannot repay. That's the mood of Krishna. I cannot repay. Yama abjam durja geha shrinkala. You have worshipped me. You have adored me by cutting all durjaya geha. Geha means the family ties. You have broken all the family ties. Shrinkala means the chains. You have broken all the chains of the family ties and you have come here. So samvrichyatadyaha pratiyatu sadhuna. So let your glories, your deeds that you have done be your glories. I will not be able to pay back to you. I cannot. So let your own glorious deeds of cutting the knots of your family ties and coming here on my call and doing the activity to give me pleasure be the compensation, because I myself cannot pay. So, O gopis, I'm not able to repay my debt for your spotless service, even within a lifetime of Brahma. Your connection with me is beyond reproach. You have worshipped me, cutting off all the domestic ties, which are very difficult to break. Durjaya geha. So he's saying Durjaya, something which is very, very difficult to give up, but you have given up everything. So please let your own glorious deeds be your compensation. So this way, the gopis were being awarded by Lord Shri Krishna. And the gopis were thinking, oh, we have offered this body to Lord Shri Krishna. You are the owner and it brings you the enjoyment. So why you are saying that our glorious deeds be our compensation? Why? Because we don't even think that this body belongs to us. Actually, this complete body belongs to you. So this way, the gopis, when they see Lord Shri Krishna, they used to derive unbounded bliss. Although they do not have any desire for their pleasure, but it's an after effect, it's a side effect, I should say, that when they love Shri Krishna, when they show their love to Shri Krishna, naturally they also get some pleasure. So it happens with us also. When we do certain activities for Krishna's pleasure, internally we also get some kind of happiness. We get some kind of satisfaction that we have done something. That kind of feeling is there. So this is actually the reciprocation of Krishna. But then when Krishna thinks that, oh, all these gopis, they have done so much for me, and Krishna becomes happy, then what happened? Seeing Krishna happy, the gopis taste 10 million times of greater satisfaction, the greater pleasure. And when Krishna sees all of them, Krishna becomes more happy. And seeing Krishna's great happiness, the gopis experience more love for them. And this way, this joy increases, this sweetness increases. That Krishna increases his sweetness and gopis increases their love. And this way, Krishna says, so this is the third desire, which is now continuing. Krishnera vallabha radha Krishna pranadhana taha vinu sukta nahi sukha nahi. Sorry, taha vinu sukha hetu nahe gopi gana. So now these gopis, their unparalleled love is being explained. But amongst the gopis, who is the best? It's Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani's love is the best. And it is being explained, Krishnera Vallabha Radha Krishna Pranadhana. Radharani is the beloved consort of Krishna, and she is the Pranadhana of Krishna. She is the wealth of his life. Taha Venu Sukha Hetu Nahi Gopagana. It's, if all these gopis were not there, then without Srimati Radharani, if Radharani would have not been there, the gopis, no matter how much they do, they cannot give him pleasure. But how these gopis are invited, it's actually by the love of Srimati Radharani. Because she experiences that highest love, she calls these gopis also to experience this love. And in the previous session also, we heard that how these gopis, these Lakshmis, These Dwarkavasis means all the queens of Dwarka, they are who? They are just the expansions of Srimati Radharani. So this way, Sei bhave nija vancha karila purna avatare he vancha mula karana. So now, because all the gopis that they are giving the happiness to Krishna would have not been possible by if Srimati Radharani would have not been there, because she is the crest jewel. She is the one who is telling the gopis how to act so that I am pleased. So Krishna is thinking, I have to somehow or other, I have to take that emotion. I have to get into the mood of Srimati Radharani. He also fulfilled his own desires. And avatara evancha mula karana. And thus he comes as Śrī Caitanya, which is the principal reason for his appearance. So this way, in the mood of Srimati Radharani, our Krishna comes. Therefore, he thought, Radhikara bhava kanti angikara vine se tina sukha kabhu nahi aswadine. Unless I accept the luster of the ecstatic love of Sri Radhika, Tina Sukha, these three happiness that the gopis and Srimati Radharanis are experiencing, these desires I will never be fulfilled. Therefore, Radha Bhava Angikari Dhari Tara Varna Tina Sukha Aswadite Hava Avatirna. Therefore, our Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna actually comes as Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, assuming Srimati Radharani's sentiments, Radha Bhava, and her duty, her bodily complexion. Krishna says, I shall descend to fulfill these three desires, just so that I can fulfill these three desires, and I come as Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So now this is the 6th Mangalacharan verse. Again, this verse is in the meter Mandakranta, the same as the previous 5th meter. Śrī Radhaya pranamahima kidrisho vanaiva swadyo yena bhuta madhurima kidrisho vamadiya saukyam chasya madanubhavata kidrisham veti lobhat tadbhavadya samajani shachi garbha sindhu harindu. So very beautiful verse where Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, actually this verse is also from Swarup Damodar Goswami. So he says, Śrī Radhaya Prana Mahima, the greatness of the love of Srimati Radharani. What kind of love she has. Vanaiva, how much nobody else except Srimati Radharani can experience the greatness of the love. Oh, I want to experience that love. Sado yena adbhuta madhurima kidrisho vamadiya. And I also want to relish my own sweetness, my own beauty of what Srimati Radharani is experiencing. Saukhyam chasya madanubhavatam kidrisham veti lobhat. I am getting this desire to taste that sweetness and also to increase that sweetness, because there is a constant competition that is going on. I want to relish all this. I want to relish the sweetness that Srimati Radharani relished. Tadbhavadya samajani shachi garbha sindhu harindu. And developing these three desires, our Lord Shri Krishna, then endowed with that emotions of Srimati Radharani, he took birth from where? Shachigarbha Sindhu Harindu. He took birth from the womb of Srimati Sachi Devi in the ocean, like how the moon arises in the ocean. Harindu Sindhu, how the Indu comes out from the Sindhu, our Hari, our Lord Krishna, comes out from the womb of Srimati Sachi Devi as Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Desiring to understand the glory of Sri Radharani's love, the wonderful qualities in him, and she alone relishes through her love, and the happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love, the Supreme Lord Hari, and richly endowed with her emotions, appeared from the womb of Srimati Sachi Devi as the moon appeared from the ocean. So I said, right, that I'll explain you in a very layman terms, this entire 3 desires. So this was the slide actually I made for the kids class. So I just took the same slide because I know it was difficult for me to find all the pictures and all. But please excuse me for this childish pictures, but it's very easy to understand. So imagine, this is the internal reason we have recited this verse. So imagine there is an ant, right? And there is a sugar cube. Now ant goes to a sugar cube and tastes the sweetness of sugar. Now who is tasting the sweetness of sugar? This ant is tasting the sugar. And the more the ant is tasting the sugar, the more she is relishing the sweetness of that sugar. Right? So you know that sugar is sweet. The sugar cube is sweet. But that cube is tasted by an ant. Here ant is Srimati Radharani and that cube is Krishna. So she is tasting the sweetness of Krishna's beauty, of Krishna's love. And the more she is tasting, more her love is increasing. Her taste is increasing. She is relishing more and more. And then what happens when the ant goes to a sugar cube? She leaves behind some, in a medical term, something is left because of which all the other ants also try to follow. So is she tasting all by herself? No. She's telling all the gopis also, you please come. You please come and taste the sweetness of this sugar. This sugar is very sweet. And then she calls upon all the ants. And in a few seconds, you will see the entire sugar cube is covered with all the ants because all the ants are tasting the sweetness of that sugar. Now we'll reverse this. Now this sugar is thinking, oh, how much sweetness I have. Oh, I wish I could relish my own sweetness. So this way, this sugar cube is thinking, oh, I want to taste. I want to, first of all, relish my own sweetness. And I want to see how much sweetness I have. And then I also want to experience the happiness that the ant is experiencing when she's feeding on me. So this way now the sugar cube is developing this desire to become an ant. So these are the 3 internal reasons of Mahaprabhu's advent: to relish the position of Srimati Radharani, to understand the transcendental mellow of himself, and to enjoy the bliss that is tasted by Srimati Radharani. So this way, developing these 3 internal desires, our Shri Krishna comes as Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now you see the life of Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is fulfilling all these desires. He is now become an ant. And he is calling upon Krishna, 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 because he has taken the mood of Srimati Radharani. Right? That's why that verse is also there. Krishna Varna Tisha Krishna. Krishna, right? So he is known as, he is calling upon Krishna. Day and night he is calling upon Krishna's name to taste the sweetness, to taste the love that Srimati Radharani was experiencing. And then with that, having the mood, having the complexion of Srimati Radharani, he is seeing the own beauty. He's seeing the beauty of Krishna, that how Krishna is so beautiful. Therefore, in Gambhira, he used to listen to the songs of Vidyapati and this Vidyadharan and Chandidas, right? If I'm not wrong. He used to hear their songs because they will glorify Lord Shri Krishna's beauty and his sweetness. And Mahaprabhu would hear and he will go mad. In Gambhira, he'll break his head onto the walls that I'm feeling so much of separation from Krishna. And this way, he is enjoying the bliss tasted by Srimati Radharani. And not only himself, he is calling all the people that you also please come, follow my footsteps and worship Krishna, worship Srimati Radharani. So this way, getting the mood of Srimati Radharani and her complexion, our Krishna came as Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So the last line of that verse is Tad Bhavadya Samajani Shachi Garbha Sindhu Harindu. There Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Pita Mata Guru Gana Age Avatari Radhikara Bhava Varna Angikari Kari Navadvipe Shachi Garbha Shuddha Dugdha Sindhu Tahate Prakata Haila Krishna Puna Indu. First Lord Krishna, he made his parents and elders appear. Pita, Mata, Guru, Gana. He told them, you first go and take birth in Navadvip. Then Krishna thinks himself, Radhikara Bhava Varna Angikari Kari. I will take on to the sentiments and complexions of Srimati Radharani, and then I will appear in Navadvip. Then, like the full moon from the womb of Mother Shachi, he appeared, which is like an ocean of pure milk. So ocean of pure milk is compared to Srimati Sachi Devi's womb. And from that ocean of pure milk rises the moon. And that moon is our Śrī Caitanya-candra, our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. With this, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami finally ends chapter 4. So in chapter 4, he discusses these two verses, these two Mangalacharan verses. The first half chapter is dedicated to that fifth Mangalacharan, and the last half of the chapter is dedicated to the sixth Mangalacharan. And he ends the chapter with his own celebrated verse as always. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Jara Ash Caitanya-caritāmṛta Kahe Krishnadas. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Raghunath, always desiring their mercy. I, Krishnadas, narrate Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, following in their footsteps. So thank you all so much. We'll end here. And then we will see the seventh Mangalacharan verse in chapter number 5. Thank you all so much. We'll stop here. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhayeva patitanam bhaktabhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. If anybody has any things to add, any corrections, any questions, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Very, very, very beautiful class, Mataji. I was asking you this question in the last class. You were able to explain it so beautifully. Thank you so much, Mataji. It actually makes sense with one of the verses you had previously explained in the Bhakti Shastri class, right? Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, how it came into being when Mahaprabhu says, Ar apar, right? You know, it doesn't have boundaries. That love is so much, that bhakti is so much. I was able to relate that to why it is. Because it is infinite time for Srimati Radharani, and it is increasing infinitely every second. If you put it as a mathematical equation, there is no number to it, right?
Yes.
So,
Right.
yeah, I was able to relate why he said that bhakti is so deep and without any boundaries. I was able to relate to that. And very beautifully explained, Mataji. Sometimes I used to get this question, Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. Why does he go mad when he sees Jagannath, right? Why does he feel that? You know, now I'm able to relish or understand why he did that. Thank you, Mataji. This was a very beautiful. At least it's a very big eye opener for me, who doesn't know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so much. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mahaprabhu used to go mad, and he used to never see Jagannath in his Jagannath form. He would always see as Shyama Sundar. That's the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes, Mataji. And that's one more thing, right? Premanjita Churita Bhakti Vilochana.
Bhakti Vilochana.
Sing, right? Because we have to see it in the eyes of Srimati Radharani actually. When can we relish Krishna more, I feel now? Without her mercy, I don't think so we can relish Krishna at all, I feel now. You know, without her eyes, without... And one question that I have, Mataji, is that the bhakti that we have, is it a droplet of Srimati Radharani's?
Of course. Bhakti that we have and the happiness that we feel, it's all coming from Srimati Radharani, because she is the abode of all that pleasure. She is the abode of all the happiness. She is the abode of all bliss. She is Haladini Shakti. In the last class also we discussed Actually, it's the same Haladini Shakti because of which we feel pleasure while doing any service for Krishna. It's the some insignificant percentage of that halad that we experience, but it is all coming from Srimati Radharani. And the pleasure that a conditioned living entity also feels when he performs, when that jiva performs any activity for his sense pleasure, actually that pleasure is also coming from Srimati Radharani, but at that time that Haladini Shakti has a covering of Maya. Ultimately, any pleasure, whether it is for the conditioned living entity or it is for those who are Shuddha Bhakta, pure devotees, everything is coming from Srimati Radharani. But from conditioned souls, that Haladini Shakti is covered by Maya Shakti, by which the jiva satisfies his own senses.
Very nice, Mataji. And it makes sense, right? Why we are Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya. That also makes sense.
Yes, in this regard also, my Guru Maharaj used to say is that we are not even Vaishnavas. Somebody can think, well, we call ourselves to be Vaishnavas and we are not Vaishnavas. And he says, there's a beautiful, I can share that clipping also, where Guru Maharaj was saying that those who worship Vishnu, they are known as Vaishnavas. Those who worship Krishna, they are known as Karshnas. And those who worship Srimati Radharani, they are known as Gaudiyas. So yes, we are the worshippers of Srimati Radharani, and therefore Radha Dasyam is our ultimate aim. Yes, devotees can aim for Krishna Prema Bhakti, but actually that Prema Bhakti also finds its own way only through the medium of Srimati Radharani. So that's all what we have to desire is Radha Dasyam. And yes, you were quoting that verse also from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that how Bhakti, the ocean of Bhakti has no limit. Para par shunya gabhira Bhakti Rasa Sindhu. Doesn't have any shores, no boundaries. That Sindhu, that Bhakti Sindhu doesn't have any boundaries. If you go deep, if you dive deep, you cannot find the end point to it. And to that, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu told to Rupa Goswami that this bhakti, if you try to find the shores, if you find the length and breadth and the deep depth of that ocean, you will not be able to find. Just like Brahma, when he was going down to the stem of that lotus, he was not able to reach to the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And he was stuck and he was thinking what to do. And again, he climbed up and performed his tapasya. So similar is the case of bhakti. You cannot find the limit, the shores, the end shores, the length, breadth, and the depth of that ocean. But Mahaprabhu says, oh Srila Rupa Goswami, I'm being very, very kind enough to you. Tomate cha haite taha eka bindu. I'm taking your finger and I'm dipping your finger in that ocean and making you taste that one drop of that bhakti, that ocean of bhakti. From that ocean, only one drop I'm making you taste. And that one drop can flood the entire universe. And that's what happened when Rupa Goswami, he tasted, he wrote Bhakti Rasamrita-sindhu. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Please do share that clipping, Mataji. And
Yeah,
Hare
sure.
Krishna.
I'll clipping.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I just clarify one thing? You told
Yeah,
a
yeah.
mind-blowing example with the sugar and the ant. As you said, the ant, first when it tastes, it leaves a chemical. I do forget the name. But can
Yeah.
we think that it is that bhakti is that living form of bhakti that Radharani leaves for us, and we all throng to go and taste that bhakti component, and then we are trying to experience the love component. Can we take it that way, Mother?
Actually, it is that only.
Okay.
Because it's
So
only
just to check my
devotion.
understanding, no, I got so involved in your teaching. I don't know whether if I'm imagining, so I just thought I will.
No. Perfect. It's her devotional services that she's doing and making her relish so much. by doing those services, that now she is calling upon all the services, and that chemical is that
But
that
the devotional
enthusiasm,
bhakti that
the
we extend to.
devotional, yes, that
Nice,
she is
Mataji. See,
extending,
that
and we
that
all
much
are.
you have impacted our mind to understand the very difficult concepts that you are talking about, Mataji. Thank you.
It's all
Hare
Śrī
Krishna.
Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has himself explained it so nicely that even a mudha person like me can read it and understand it. So Mataji, all glories to him, and on top of that, our Srila Prabhupada's purport that makes it more relishable and more
Mataji, one
understandable.
more. Can you tell about that? The tasting that, putting that one finger in the ocean from, and then tasting what who sent, and that I didn't
So
catch it up because.
actually what happened is that, remember in this our Caitanya-caritāmṛta classes on Friday, we are doing Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu,
Okay,
right, in the morning. And Bhakti Sangha, we are doing these classes. So what is this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is actually the ocean of Bhakti Rasa that is being written by Srila Rupa Goswami. And Rupa Goswami, how he understood this Bhakti Rasa, that he met Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu at the Dashashmedh Ghat in Prayag. And there Mahaprabhu for 10 days instructed Srila Rupa Goswami on this Bhakti Ras. What is Bhakti Ras?
Okay.
And then Mahaprabhu quoted this verse, Parapar Shunya Gabhira Bhakti Rasa Sindhu. That, oh Srila Rupa Goswami, this Bhakti Rasa Sindhu, this Sindhu, this ocean of Bhakti Rasa is so deep that if you go inside, you will not be able to find the length, breadth, and the depth of this ocean. It's so deep. It's shoreless, means it doesn't have shores also. But I am myself is teaching you this Bhakti Rasa by taking your finger and dipping into that ocean and making you taste that one drop. So maite chakhaite tara eka bindu. I'll just make you taste that one drop, because in 10 days, how much I can explain?
Okay.
So I'll just make you taste that one drop of that Bhakti Rasa Sindhu, and with that, when you will write this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, you will flood the entire universe in that Bhakti Ras, in that one drop. That was that she
So
was
only
telling.
based on that we have Chaitanya Charitamrita composition. Is it correct?
No, that Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is the writing of Srila Rupa Goswami, but then Caitanya-caritāmṛta is the entire Chaitanya lila. Yeah, in Caitanya-caritāmṛta also this pastime will come.
Okay.
It will come when Srila Rupa Goswami meets Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and we will see that that Rupa
But
Goswami.
that is the main bhava that we are looking in Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Actually, in
That is the
Chaitanya
understanding.
Charitamrita, yes, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are three main things. One is the Rath Yatra pastimes, where Mahaprabhu would see Jagannath and he will go mad because he will not see Jagannath, but he will see Shama Sundar Krishna. Second is Rupa Goswami, the Samvad, the conversation that happened with Srila Rupa Goswami. And third is the conversation that happened with Shri Sanatan Goswami. So that is also great. And one more thing, actually, Rai Ramanand Samvad is also what we always look for in Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, the conversation that happened with Shri Rai Ramananda. Because with all these three confidential devotees, Mahaprabhu has opened up his heart.
Oh.
And therefore,
Yes,
the
Mataji, we'll follow you and try to understand a glimpse of all these things.
We'll
at least.
follow Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami and we'll come. But that all happens in Madhya Lila. So yeah, it'll still take time. Right now, we are just expanding on these Manglacharan verses.
Mataji, how do you pick up these slokas? Like, for example, from 160, then we pass down to the slokas already. That is the way, or that is the easy way to understand, Mataji? The slokas that you have picked up.
The shlokas that I'm picking is the main one.
Okay.
And with the main essence has been shared in these verses. Otherwise, Srila Rupa Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has taken a lot of verses. You see, there are more than 200 verses in this chapter 4.
Chapter, yes.
But
Every chapter has more than 100, yes.
More than that. So
Yeah.
we are just the essence because, see, verse by verse, it's very difficult to study
No,
Chaitanya
for us to follow, if we read these verses, would it put it, tune us to understand.
Tune us to the essence of Chaitanya-caritāmṛta.
Yes, Mataji. So
Only to
that's
the
what.
essence.
Okay.
Yeah. But the idea is, like, we have covered the 4 chapters, and
Yes.
the idea is you all can, as a homework, you all can study those 4
That's
chapters.
so we are going towards the 7th Mangalacharan in the 5th chapter. So we
Yes.
can, so we can just try to study and at least
Yeah.
try to retain some
Retain.
taste of this.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranams.
Dandavat. Okay, dear devotees, we'll stop here. Thank you all so much. See you all next Monday for US devotees and Tuesday for India devotees. We'll stop here. Vancha kalpata vibhascha kripa sindhu
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
Thank you, Mataji. Very, very
Vaishnav
नमिंद की जय,
की जय,
की
Shri
जय,
Chaitanya.
की जय।
Mataji ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।